Hello there friends, this is Dota News. We're here to create the best Dota News channel ever. Here's what we cover in today's episode. ESL is ruining streamers' lives, qojqva got slammed again, shocking move by Mind Control and Tundra, YouTubers banned for Dota content, and much more. Without further ado, let's get straight to it. Let's kick off our news with an intriguing story from Timado. He got an invite to Tundra and then they ditched him at the last minute. According to the esports athlete, he was practically signed, with Ari inviting him saying, "Dude, you're awesome, let's play together." But then Pure appeared on the horizon and everything went off the rails. Fortunately, Timado is doing well in OG. Now to some unexpected but quite cute news. ARMEL, the mid laner for Aurora, has something fantastic for you. He has become a father. Unfortunately, due to these reasonable circumstances, he will have to miss the DreamLeague, and some guy, I'm just joking, Lorinov, will be filling in for him. We're wishing ARMEL and his child the best of luck. Now to some quite sad news. Unfortunately, community casters got the short end of the stick this time. ESL has decided to tighten the noose again, imposing a 15-minute delay on Dota TV. And as the rules dictate, all streamers must also add a 5-minute delay while broadcasting matches. Honestly, I don't understand the reasoning behind this. Perhaps the organizers realized that community casters are far more interesting than their own dull commentators and analysts. And so they decided to sabotage all the engaging streams. I mean, no offense to all the ESL workers here, but that sometimes could be kinda boring. You know, watching matches with such significant delays just isn't the same, forcing viewers to turn to the boring and censored official studios. They've introduced a bunch of other restrictions too, like not allowing multiple people to commentate together, meaning we won't see streams from Gorg and No Tail on ESL tours anymore. To me, that's a huge loss, to be honest, so I recommend watching match analysis on our YouTube channel instead. Just don't forget to subscribe. You know, we cover all the most interesting matches at the end of our videos. So yeah, follow us, like, right now. And on top of everything, a piece of news surfaced on Reddit that PGL plans to ban people who make match highlight compilations. Understandably, this has caused a major uproar within the community, which has called on Valve to do something about it. Though I have my doubts that they will take any actions, because they just don't do anything. It's Valve. And you know what, as a viewer and as a content creator, I'm also extremely opposed to the idea of blocking accounts that upload match highlights. Personally, like, even me, I don't have the time to watch all the matches live and would love to catch a quick compilation of the best moments. This type of content only hits the interest in the tournaments, and it doesn't really harm anyone. And moreover, this could also leave the content creators out of work. Anyways, we will see how this develops. Guys, now to some serious stuff. Have you noticed the large bruises under ARTEEZY's eyes lately? It got all the viewers worried about his conditions. It's unclear if he's sick or if it's something else. But thankfully, Arthur explained everything. According to him, he had some health issues and strained his neck ligaments. And as many of you know, it's very hard to sleep with such a problem. That's where the bruises came from. So yeah, guys, we don't need to worry about ARTEEZY. He's ready to tear up at the tournament. As you may recall, a minor lettered patch was released not too long ago, which didn't change much significantly. However, players have shared their opinions, and interestingly, their views are quite divided. For instance, Admiral Bulldog was whining that Lone Druid got the strongest nerf of all compared to other heroes. He questioned why the Bear's move speed was significantly reduced, while Ember Spirit's mana cost for fists was only increased by 5 units. But on the other hand, Mira from Team Spirit is pleased with the patch, considering it very important for balancing certain heroes and items. Previously, it had too many imbalanced things, but now it's all leveled out, making Dota much more comfortable to play. That's what he said. MMR is just a number, some wise man said. And Yadaro shared his thoughts on matchmaking and how he spends his leisure time. He treats pub matches as practice sessions, and for him, MMR has long ceased to be an indicator of skill. Perhaps Team Spirit's carry is just too titled, and he doesn't need to prove anything to anyone in ranked games. As for relaxation, he enjoys playing ping pong with his teammates. That's table tennis. So the whole team just prefers to set up tables and lights for the game at their boot camps and just have a great time. And now, my friends, let's dive into the most talked about news of the day. As you may know, Zai recently started his role as the general manager of Tundra, and a scandal erupted almost immediately. Mind Control announced that he was kicked from the team just 30 minutes before the match. Naturally, everyone thought it was just a bad joke from the player, but the match went ahead, and Lays stepped in. And it turned out that the kick story was true. I've never before seen a player kicked so abruptly before the match. Sure, Tundra lost a couple of maps, but their overall performance wasn't bad. We will discuss these matches in the analysis part a little later, just use the time codes or wait for it. However, Tundra's management decided to act swiftly and announced what happened. You can see the official statement on your screens now. Well, Tundra couldn't really give us anything concrete, so what does the player himself say? Basically, Mind Control went to Gorg's stream and spilled the beans on all the team's issues. First off, Pure took over his role as a captain and didn't let him properly call the shots. Then, Moonminder came as a coach, someone Mind Control didn't want in the first place. But okay, he managed to deal with it somehow. But the last straw was something else entirely. Remember I mentioned how Zai was the manager of Tundra Dota 2 roster or whatever that was? Well, Mind Control wasn't keen on working with him. He didn't even see how Zai's role could benefit the team or what he was doing here overall, but as you've guessed, the management didn't listen. Mind Control was used to be the coach, the mentor, the heart and soul of the team, and all these changes were undermining that. So he decided to issue an ultimatum: either the management makes some changes or he's out of the org. To me, that move is pretty low, forcing his teammates to scramble for new players in Harsh. But on the other side, I remind you that Mind Control was the one to assemble this roster. He basically wanted to do something himself after so many years in Enigma, but then Tundra just took it. Anyways, guys, share your thoughts on this whole situation in the comments below. Let's discuss. And you know, there's one really funny thing about all this. Turns out it's all Pure's fault. Again, he was already getting penalized at almost every tournament for something. Either he was like alt-tabbing and watching streams or drawing various restricted symbols that's not cool and whatever. And now his teammate is upset with the whole world, making it highly unlikely that their team can show good results. And all because Pure just wanted to call. I mean, it's obviously not the main reason, but the whole situation is kinda hilarious because Pure is just like magnetizing all the bad luck he can. And you know what, Pure himself seems to acknowledge this because he wrote on his Telegram channel that he chose the hardcore difficulty level when he started playing the pro scene of Dota. And yeah guys, I just can't explain why things happen to him. And now let's discuss how the community reacted to Mind Control's kick. Team Secret praised Zai for a successful first day on the job. Fishman, on the other hand, find Mind Control's reasons odd. He believes the decision was made in haste and that Mind Control will greatly regret it. Meanwhile, BZM supported his buddy, with whom he played in OG, and added the hashtag 4MC. And yeah, after this whole situation, so far, during two different matches, Tundra had two stand-ins. Against ARTEEZY's team, they brought in Lays, and against Aurora, Tundra decided to play with Kasane, a friend of the very same Lays. Oh guys, let's take a break from the previous news and listen to how 9 class compares Mira's playstyle to his own. According to Tundra's position 4, Mira plays more on supportive heroes that can stack, save, and mostly run around the map with their core supporting. On the other hand, Mr. 9 class prefers greedier position 4s, you know, who can farm and become like semi-cores and whatever. Given the situation with Mind Control, it's not surprising 9 class prefers playing for himself. And what a news episode would be without some trash talk. This time qojqva took a swipe at qojqva. Max complained about having a really weak team, to which the mid laner responded by calling him a blind idiot who can't see his teammates flying in to back him up. And after that, the usual conflict started, with discussions about who's the low skill here and what everyone's rank is. After that entertaining bit of trash talk, we can move to the match analysis, of which we have plenty today. In the warm-up match, Spirit faced off against Tundra. Given Spirit's current form, Tundra was an incredibly tough opponent for them. On the first map, the Dragons decided to bring out their strongest hero of all time, Magnus. Overall, Yatoro and his team had a much better chance with their draft, especially against a Terrorblade who is weak in the current patch and practically doesn't win anything. Collapse, in his typical style, ESL created numerous highlights, while Tundra's heroes, frankly speaking, just fed the enemy cores. Laurel and Yatoro were so charged, they easily shut down Thompson's team in the first map. And the second map was just as easy, but this time for Tundra, Laurel indeed sweated it out, but Alchemist turned out to be not the right hero for Yatoro. The Dragons couldn't find their tempo, and the game was an easy ride for Luna with her item slots. Pure even managed to get a rapier on the 40th minute and ensure the victory. It's a pretty good highlight.
Yatoro was the one to lead, even better than a support, but the boat coming in onto 3 heroes, qojqva ripping through techies, and look at the Luna getting bursted, but there's a Pure with the BKB Satanic into the Eclipse, takes out Laurel in turn, and the Eclipse still going to find qojqva as well.
Honestly guys, Pure has been in great form this year. I like his bold decisions, which often pay off. So Team Spirit's strategies didn't work out this time, and they had to concede the second map to Tundra. Let's also take a look at how other teams played their matches. Bad Boom effortlessly crushed Quinn and his team on 2 maps, and the new carry for OG also shot down G2IG with Naga, just sweeping them in 2 maps under 30 minutes. In Group B, a very amusing situation unfolded as all teams ended their first matches with a tight score of 1-1 on maps. However, things were much clearer in the second round. Team Spirit just crashed Liquid, showcasing for the first time a carry Windranger and then a carry Puck for Yatoro. I didn't particularly notice Puck's impact on the second map, as the carry's game didn't really take off, but a win is a win. Here, Ame decided to remind everyone why numerous carry players look up to him. He just dismantled, annihilated Tundra's players over 2 maps. So we're eagerly anticipating another fierce battle between Ame and Yatoro. And you know what? The clash between these top-tier carry players didn't make fans wait long. The next day, it was a bloodbath, showcasing why these two are considered the best carries on the planet. Right from the start, it looked very promising. On the first map, Axam and his Outworld Destroyer decided to put pressure on Team Spirit, while Ame on his Alchemist enjoyed free farm. What sets Ame's Alchemist apart from Yatoro's is his proximity to teammates, always ready to join fights. This cohesive gameplay allowed them to dictate the tempo against Dire, leaving Zeus with no room to maneuver. Just look at how desperately Yatoro is trying to deal damage to Primal Beast. It seems like starting a new game would be faster than waiting for the carry of Team Spirit to finally do something with XXS. But fortunately, we didn't have to wait for long. The Dragons just lacked the damage against Xtreme Gaming scores. Eventually, they had to call GG. And oh my god, guys, Yatoro ended up with the Templar Assassin going for a Maelstrom build on the second map. From what I've seen, most Templar Assassins with this build focus on 0 hero damage and lots of attack speed. I mean, I don't like it, and you may not also, but they're the pro players, they know better, right? And yeah, maybe against Naga this build could actually be strong. And guys, I think it was unguessable. I mean, Storm Spirit, Doom, they probably know better. I'm no pro player. And wow, who would have thought? Team Spirit ended up in a torture chamber where they were whipped mercilessly. They couldn't catch Sniper, Naga was just massive. They did 0 damage to Timber, so just an awful draft from Team Spirit. Dragons had no chance of coming back in that game. Ame's infamous last pick Naga devoured Yatoro and his bros. In the other matches, there were no major upsets. Bad Boom took down Azure and BZM's team. Gladiators once again showed an odd performance and ended up drawing with OG. But they effortlessly closed out Virtus.pro in 2 games. Only Heroic and Team Secret brought some joy. Poppy and his crew managed to snatch a game from Spirit, while Devaya Lama and his team impressively took 2 games off Azure. It seems like the Chinese teams let their guard down after a successful BB Dacha and then the games of the future. But guys, finally let's now talk about how Tundra performed with stand-ins and without mind control. In the first game, Thompson decided to once again delight us with his innovations, picking Alchemist mid. They executed it brilliantly. It literally acted as a counter-initiator for Tundra, able to burst in right after Suntour. It's also worth mentioning Laze, who played very impressively considering the lack of extensive practice with the team. Meanwhile, the pace set by Thompson continued, and they secured a crucial Aegis for Troll. all, which led to several pickoffs and increasingly gaining an advantage. Pure put the final stamp of this game with his double kill, sending ARTEEZY and his team off to the second map. And then the curse of the Terror Blade struck again. I mean, once again, I'm not a pro player, but even I know that TB is bad in the current meta. There are way better carry heroes. It's basically the same thing as with Templar Assassin through Maelstrom. You see, Terrorblade even won the lane, but the game was just too tough and the core picks around him were just far from ideal. All hopes were on Tiny and his initiations. The ultimate simplicity of Shopify's draft denied all of Tundra's exceptional performances. Luna could always force a fight with her BKB, whereas TB was easily burst down every time. And I think the increase in strength gain wouldn't save him from being blown after a stun.
Retreating, Pure's in on top of Sableye here. Disarm for the pushback of the Deafening Blast will slow down the damage output from Pure, but it won't slow it from both Lays and Thompson as they focus Sableye, take him out. Yopaj is trying to push forward with the BKB. Pure's getting low, but the Sunder's there. He's able to get back on about 2/3 HP. ARTEEZY's in on top of him though with the Eclipse, beating down on Pure, but he's ready for round 2. Aegis is going to be in play. Yopaj will be able to pick off Whitemon. The arrow, perfectly timed for Theolicor, comes in on the Aegis, respawn straight onto Pure. Pure pots the Manta, but he's out. They kill off Pure, they kill off Lays, Shopify Rebellion take the...
Imagine fighting with this TB against ARTEEZY's Aegis. And even in the regular fights, Thompson and his team stood no chance at all. Radiant realized there was no point of continuing and just called GG. And you know guys, overall, considering they played with a stand-in, Tundra still showed up pretty well. The drafts were a bit unfortunate and it felt like they missed Mind Control's decisive hand, but let's hope Tundra can still make it out of the group stage. They have the potential. And here are the current group stage standings. Don't forget to let me know in the comments below who you're rooting for in this tournament. Guys, that's all for now. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to like the video if you enjoyed it. Don't forget to follow the channel if you like our content. And this was the most provocative Dota 2 news channel, and you know it, and we know it. I'm not saying goodbye for a long time. See you soon.